Good morning, everyone. I hope this finds you well and living your best life in Jesus Christ. My mother had many expressions, but she had one particular expression that I'm sure is common to a whole bunch of your parents. When my son was little, my mother would remind me occasionally wisely that little pitchers have big ears. This was her way of reminding me that little kids are always watching and always listening to us adults, even when we think they're not. I'd almost forgotten how much kids gather from us on a day-to-day basis until our little guy next door came along. Landry comes up with new surprises every day, it seems, but most of them are things he picks up from watching and listening to the adults around him, and then repeating them back at various, mostly improper times. And the thing is, it's not just little guys that do this. I've been reading in Psalms 112, and Psalms 112, 6 through 9 tells us that surely the righteous will never be shaken. They will be remembered forever. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Their hearts are secure. They will have no fear. In the end, they will look in triumph on their foes. They have freely scattered their gifts to the poor. Their righteousness endures forever. Their horn will be lifted high in honor. Now, what this scripture reminds us is that every day people all around us listen to our words and watch our actions. In both subtle and overt ways, they study what we do. As they look at the lives of the believers, they wonder if our actions are consistent with our beliefs. And this is true of adults of all ages and even children. In fact, the degree to which parents influence their children was confirmed by a very recent study. They concluded that young children like to emulate their adults. Well, duh. This particularly was true about entertainment, and that's the particular area of the study. Yes, they're influenced by their peers, but also closely watch their parents. They copy their behavior. They copy what they watch. They copy what they listen to, what they do with their time and resources. In the process, even young children, as young as Landry and younger, form habits likely to last a lifetime. How often we like to think we can act in isolation as if we lived in a vacuum. This isn't just true for parents, but for everyone. On our jobs, when we shop, in our homes, and our churches, we might think we can say or do what we want, and then it really won't matter. But God knows what impact we really have, whether or not we realize it. In your life, remember that people are watching and listening to you. You have the opportunity to influence them by your behavior. If they know you're a believer, they watch to see if your actions are consistent with your faith. This is not news to anyone. They wonder if you're being a hypocrite or if your faith is genuine. They look to see evidence of if the gospel is true and if you really apply biblical principles to your life. They look on how you treat other people. They look on your emotions, your priorities, your character. So this morning, let's ask God to transform our lives so people see Jesus in us, that we'll be more powerful witnesses for Him. After all, it's not just little pitchers that have big ears, it's big pitchers as well. I hope you make today a fantastic day in the Lord. Please remember I'm here if you need me, and I love you all.